I am resident caller for YouTube. Joel Sains. No, no, I am not Dan Curtis. I do not own a golf club.
But
Uh,
Mr. Curtis, the check didn't clear.
no, mine definitely would not. Anyway, that is Samantha Lomusico. That is Patrick McCray. That is Alan Gallant. We are here to talk Dark Shadows 1970 Parallel Time. So my first question is, who is your favorite character that they switched here? Because a lot of the characters and most of the characters are living different lives. They've made different choices uh, in a lot of ways. Some minor, some major. So who is your favorite character who's different? Samantha.
I'm going to have to go with Hoffman on that one. She gets to be Mrs. Danvers from Rebecca, and that was my first introduction to Hitchcock, really, was Rebecca when I was a kid. And the minute Parallel Time started, I picked up on it right away with Hoffman's devotion, and my favorite. All right, next.
Patrick.
Will Loomis.
Yeah.
You know, very, very, very different road that he goes down, but certain ethical challenges remain the same. In fact, money and education, I would say, make Will Loomis a far worse person in general than Willie.
Yeah, because his potential is really being smashed by his other predilections.
Yeah. And his other predilections give him more of a range of choices and less of an ability to see that they're all the wrong ones.
Right. Yeah.
Alan.
So just to keep the variety going on, I'm going to say, the Jekyll and Hyde dudes, Yeager.
Well, Alan, I don't think that was the question. This was who has an analog in primary time that we most interested.
Oh, okay, all right, no problem. Then it's Carolyn.
Yeah.
You screwed me up. Carolyn definitely is an analog. Road not taken or other roads taken. Yeah.
I think she only wears pants in Parallel Time too, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. And
no skirts for her.
She's probably smoking Virginia Slims and going, yes. Come a long way, baby. You know, the whole thing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Favorite new character, Alan.
Favorite new character would be John Yeager. Yes. Yes. Just because he really gives Chris Pennock a chance to really chew the scenery. Which she's so wonderful at doing.
Yes. Samantha, favorite new character.
I want a new one. I don't know if I have a new one there's not really that many left. It's just what? Cyrus?
Cyrus is name, yeah.
And maybe Roxanne. Those are the only two, right?
Alexis would technically also be, and so would Stokes.
And the brother of Guthrie.
Yeah, the brother of Guthrie, yeah.
Yeah. And Bruno.
Bruno has.
Although Bruno's kind of the same. He's just kind of oily.
I always thought he was the same Bruno from the other time.
He's a different Bruno because he's a composer in Parallel Time. He's not just a
yeah, but is the last name the same?
Bruno Hess. Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, that's not new. I wouldn't consider him new.
New would be considered Cyrus Longworth, Roxandra.
How about Trask? Because there wasn't a Trask in regular.
Yeah, Trask would count.
Yes. Trask would count. Yes, Trask.
All right, I'm going to say Trask just because it was funny to see him as like a subservient. Like, oh, you work for the Collins now, and
yeah, it's true.
Oh.
Yeah, there is no Trask of that generation that we know of.
Yeah.
Also.
Right.
Yeah. Patrick, favorite new character?
Oh, I would have John Yeager. I mean, there's no insistence that we don't double up with somebody.
No.
John Yeager is I'm beginning to contend he is not a bad person, but he is a bad person for that context. Had he grown up on Kronos, the Klingon homeworld, it would have been fine.
Been perfectly fine.
Yeah. He is someone who's sad. And I know this is really equivocating. It was bad reasoning. I'm going to make it anyway because it's fun.
Yeah, I mean his misogyny is rather outstanding, and
that's a problem. Okay, I have a problem with that.
His violence towards women definitely.
But he does. He is the danger of being at the very top of Maslow's hierarchy.
And then he's reaching his potential. No, nobody else's potential.
Yeah, he is ruthlessly self-actualized.
Yeah. He is an id, as he should be, because he's a Jekyll and Hyde. He's the Hyde too.
Because I asked myself the last time I really, really, really watched that section of the series, which was when I was writing the first day book. I asked myself, well, what are the big sources of his anxiety and his frustration? And they generally have to do with people not agreeing with him. And so if people just happened to agree with him or pretended to agree with him, what would he be like? Well, probably pretty nice.
Yeah, well, ultimately, it's his other half of himself that's the biggest disagreement of all.
It is. Or the other element is, what if the other characters were versions of Yeager, where everyone's if everyone were taking this formula,
right?
And he had those who could stand up to him. So, either it would be a life of constant combat, or he would start to gauge his behavior based on wanting to avoid the severity of response that other Yeagers would give him.
Right. Whereas the way it stands, his biggest obstacle is chemistry.
Yes. Yeah.
The favorite character who switches, Maggie Evans. I love Maggie's character in this. Favorite new character. How dare nobody pick the ghost of Damian Edwards?
I was thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm completely seen. I'm the one who mentions him all the time.
That outfit alone deserves to be picked. Okay, there's that. So we do get a lot of stuff going on. Alexis is a great new character. It's something different for Laura Parker to play, right?
And she provides that mystery when she's first introduced. Is she or isn't she? This whole thing's going on. She'll even turn to the camera and her eyes will kind of go off sideways, like to make the audience go, wait a minute, is that Angelique? That sort of thing. So it was a lot of fun to watch her.
That's actually my next question to you guys. What did you think of Alexis Stokes, Samantha?
I felt so sorry for her there at the beginning. She's like, God, you guys, I don't know what I can tell you. I'm not her.
Mm-hmm.
But then I kind of got the feeling of the whole Cassandra thing of, I'm not Angelique. Why are you picking on me, Barnabas? And so it's kind of like that, a little bit of a afterthought. Well, I don't know. I just thought it was weird that she has a twin that never met anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Patrick.
What was the question again, too?
What do you think of Alexis?
Oh, she's fine. She's good. She's a good Angelique, and I like her. I'd ask her out. It's like, fine. Let's not be worried about this. And I got a yellow Corvette, a round water bed. Let's. I have fondue pie. I'm a suitable bachelor in the year 1970.
There you go.
I still am in the year 1970.
How long did she last, Alexis?
Only a month or so. And Parallel Time's not that long. How long is the storyline?
Let's see. Starts in the 900s and ends in the thousands. So, it's probably maybe 3 months, 2.5, 3 months, something like that.
It ends at like 10:57 episodes.
Yeah.
And it begins when?
It begins when?
Yeah, it ends at 10:57.
Right. Let me find out.
Joel, what did you think of Alexis?
I love Laura Parker getting to play a different character other than Angelique. I mean, because up to this point, she had been the most time we see her be good is 1897. Um, she's a wonderful heel. I mean, that's what you expect from her. It's nice that they put her in something different. I love her chemistry as Alexis because she says, I'm not my sister," and you see a lot of that, especially the most underrated sequences are with her and Bruno Hess. I do love the character of Bruno more here than I did in the Leviathan arc because he does have a sense of purpose of, hey, every man seemed to love Angelique, whether it was Roger, whether it was Bruno,
Not
and the
quite
guy who,
part of it.
well, the guy who knows who you talked about, William Loomis in this, Patrick. He seems to know where all the bodies are buried. He tells Maggie, he goes, "Don't trust that woman. There's things going on in this that are very strange."
Yeah.
He seems to know something, and it's like, okay, so Willie is our secret keeper? Question mark. But I and when he finally meets Alexis, he's very smitten with her because he says, I was friends with your sister." He's all like kissing her hand. He's hitting on her.
Yeah.
I mean, you get it. Laura Parker is absolutely stunning. And yes, you finally have that every man wants her, where we talk. Remember in 1795, she talks about how men wanted Josette, but she turned them away. This is sort of what that feels like in a sense. It feels like, well, instead of it being Josette, it's in parallel time Alexis.
Yeah. This timeline actually, I mean, other than the observing it before actually somebody steps into it, it's 980 is when it starts. So it's less than 100. It's like 70 something. There is about 15 episodes where they're just looking into the room trying to figure out what's going on, but that's not really. That's just sort of leading up to it.
No, I don't consider that the beginning of parallel time. I mean, from Barnabas entering.
That's 980.
That's 980.
Yeah. I enjoyed Alexis. Alexis and Angelique in this time frame are probably it's how do I want to put this? I guess I might as well put it away. It's Laura Parker being very sensual and erotic in some ways for daytime TV. She's going around and sort of, touching the guys and saying, "Oh, this is wonderful. I'll have dinner with you," and all this sort of stuff. She does this with Will Loomis. She is a person who is looking for shelter. And in 1970, oftentimes for women, that might involve the help of a man, unfortunately, but it was very much still true then. And Alexis is certainly somewhat in that category, especially when she's first at Collinwood. But she's also she's very attractive, and she's wearing these, like the nightgown that the first one she gets is this fuzzy thing with and all this sort of thing. And she, Quentin is confronted by her wearing this thing, and he's looking at her, and he's like getting hypnotized. There's an erotic dance going on there between certain characters with her. So I found that interesting and different, and I think that may have something to do with the fact it's 1970 and not 1966. That the writers could write that kind of attraction in there to make the tension rise between certain characters and give Maggie something to see and interpret and respond to for that whole Rebecca thing.
For Maggie, after this rewatch, I was like, wait, what was so different about Maggie in Parallel Time except for her status as far as being the mistress of Collinwood now? Like, her attitude and personality seem very much the same.
Yeah.
No, she's
I think
same.
Maybe it was the situation was a little bit more intense that gave her a chance to break down and have experience rage and things like that she may not have in regular time as much.
Maybe as a sister in Parallel Time.
Yes, that we never see.
Yeah.
Having a sister will do that.
Yes.
I wonder if this was initially meant to be Daphne Heritage or Daphne Evans, I think, for Maggie's sister, I'm wondering.
I don't think they had Daphne had shown up in 1970, right?
Well,
no.
No.
I thought
yes.
Okay.
No, not yet. I just
Okay.
wonder
That's
if
right.
there was
that doesn't happen until after 1995. You're right. So
Right.
She wasn't even slated as the actress wasn't even slated at that point in time. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. I know there's a Daphne in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daphne Budd, and that's
Daphne
played.
That's
That's
Lisa.
played. Yeah, that's Lisa Richards.
Yeah.
She's the victim, like the first victim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of I mentioned Damien Edwards. What did you think of Damien's outfit, Samantha?
It screamed 1970s leisure suit, and I still am confused by that whole character. I still don't. No matter how many times I watch it, I don't get it.
I think the idea was that he was the ghost of one of Angelique's former lovers that could have exposed her. I think that's what they were like throwing in some kind of a melodramatic flashpoint, but it never developed very much. You're right. It's kind of hard to kind of make sense out of that.
But Trask knew about it, or
yeah, that was the idea, that Trask knew the secrets. They we get this from a couple of conversations that he has, but again, that's just all like tension building stuff that doesn't really go anywhere, because things continue as they are, and the killer's running around, and Angelique is running around pretty much unimpeded for the most part. But it's I'm not sure what they planned on doing with that. Jared Holmes, by the way, perfect being in a leisure suit. He was actually a recording artist, and later in life he produced art pottery. Plates and things like that with artistic designs on them and things like that later on in life. But I think that was his penance for wearing that terry cloth leisure suit or whatever it was made out of. So, yeah.
So I'll ask the question that Patrick once asked me. Who is the heel or the bad guy of 1970 Parallel Time? Samantha?
Well, in the beginning, it's definitely Hoffman. And then goes to Angelique and her stepdad. But to me, oh God, Roger.
Oh yeah, I mean, he ends up being revealed as a total heel. Yes,
I love that. I want to change my answer. My favorite alter ego is Roger, just because he's a bitchy queen to me for some reason.
He is. He's wearing ascots and he's sashaying around.
Sashay.
His nose is so far up in the air. You're just like, oh, you don't fill that dress out like Angelique did.
That's right. It's
like a scarf ring.
You didn't even wear it like I did, is what he should have said. But yeah, I think Louis had a good time with that.
He did. He was fun. He got to kill people.
Yeah.
He got to yearn.
Yeah.
Bravo to him.
What happens when he's straight? The chaos and destruction that ensues.
That's right. I guess there were a lot of heels in Parallel Time, actually, when you get down to it. Minor heels and major heels. I mean, Jaeger is a heel. But Bruno is a minor heel. He's skulking around, getting in trouble, so on like this. Gladstone is a minor heel.
What about Stokes? He burns down Collinwood.
Absolutely, she mentioned that. She mentioned Stokes with Angelique. They make the heel tag team. So, yeah, absolutely.
I love how they make Stokes completely on the opposite spectrum of Elliot. It's like, oh, Elliot's he's a soft, loving professor, and this one you're a mad black arts type of demonologist type of guy.
Yeah, very bitter.
Plus, he's got the black hair, and it's like, you see, it's his own Jaeger.
Yeah, chain smoker too. Completely, different that way.
Slimy little mustache.
Yeah, that was perfect. I love the fact that Thayer looked absolutely, you could still see it was the actor underneath of all of it, but he looked so different for every role he played.
He does.
He really appreciated costume and makeup a lot and was very adept at choosing various things. I like to think that he had a lot to do with Patofi's look and so on.
Oh, I believe he did.
I think he did too. Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick, who's the heel to you? Who's the villain?
Stokes. I mean, ultimate. You have macro heels, and then you have Ferragamos. And,
3-inch Ferragamo.
And in this case, really the Ferragamos belong on Thayer David.
Absolutely. And they're pumps, right?
Oh yeah. Wedges. Yeah. Who does the most destruction? Thayer. Who moves right out of the horn? Thayer. Yeah. Because all the Angelique problems and so on that
that all runs through his river. Yeah, it runs through his river.
Yeah. Jaeger's kind of just a sideshow freak. He's in the background waiting to get killed by Barnabas. That's how the story's wrapping up when Barnabas gets busy killing people.
That's right. He goes the way of Sky Rumson eventually. They all do, right?
Guys. And yeah. By the way, just a minor thing. Speaking of Sky Rumson, you're talking about this is the first time we've seen Angelique play a heroic or be a heroic presence. Then 1897. I think 1970 parallel time or 1970 Leviathan.
Yes.
She's and that brings up an interesting thing though, because we also feel bad for Jeb. At the end, we kind of understand why she's seeking such extreme revenge given the tools in her toolbox.
Yes. And the fact that he's a Leviathan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we feel bad for him because he's trying to go good.
He's trying to go straight. Yeah. Trying to go human.
Yeah. So it's sad for both of them.
Yeah.
I just thought.
Yep. Good one. But yeah. I mean, you're right about Stokes. I mean, a lot of roads lead to Stokes in terms of the villainy. And Angelique wouldn't exist after death without Stokes. So, he's responsible for that. Soul sucking.
Exactly.
John Cornelius. Did he ever say why he was so obsessed with bringing her back? Just the fact that he could?
Yeah, I think he would, like everybody else, particularly the male characters, but also Hoffman, he was totally obsessed with her. Yeah, that's kind of the explanation you get. And it's his, it's his daughter. So it's like he wants to bring her back and he figures he can do it. So he does. But he's sort of got a weird obsession with her as well. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I have a question.
What's up?
Are we in the middle of an answer? We might.
No, I don't think so.
Good.
I think we're good.
Should if you were a writer on Dark Shadows, and Dan Curtis came into your office and said, "I want to do this new storyline, parallel time, mirror universe, alternate universe, sort of sideways universe."
Mm-hmm.
What would you do? what would be sort of the thesis of it? Because I don't know if this seems to be a parallel universe without a thesis.
Yeah, they start off with the whole Rebecca thing, so I think that was cooking in somebody's head.
No, Alan, I mean in a much more philosophical sense.
Oh,
yeah, like you have to do the Mirror Universe episode of Dark Shadows,
right?
Well, then the Collins wouldn't have costs; they would be poor.
Okay,
I would go complete opposite.
Yeah, and actually, they go in that direction with Elizabeth, right? She's the poor relation, and Quentin is the head of the family.
Yeah, Liz is poor and in pastels.
Yeah,
wearing that soft pink, man.
So yeah, that's the opposing energy there.
And then you have the Trasks running. You have the Trasks running the house, and the Collinses would be the help.
Yeah, I could see it.
Good. You could
pretty much.
The alternate reality, definitely.
Yeah.
I have one. Everybody's a vampire.
And then there's one who's, I'm not a vampire. How am I going to tell them?
It's like
Daybreak. The villains are the ones.
Daywalker.
Yeah. It's like movie Daybreakers. With the world of vampires, and obviously, the delivery of blood is mechanized and so on and so forth.
Yes.
And Barnabas is indeed, through the magic of television and parallel, is indeed a human, which was one of his goals of going over into parallel time.
Right.
It's a human in the worst place possible.
Right.
And I think that would have been a big enough and spectacular enough story to tell that it would have kept viewers, as they know the show is basically just being held on pause.
Mm-hmm.
While they shoot the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Which was true of the first 5 or 6 weeks of parallel time. So
yeah. And then you have Quentin as a master vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Who's running all of this, almost a Bond villain.
Right. And he's trying to start his own family bloodline, and
sure. You want Quentin as a bad guy, as a sexy bad guy again?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Here we go. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because that is the thing. It's like everybody's just made different decisions, but have they made completely enough decisions to separate from those characters that you saw?
Yeah.
I mean, so.
And Willie's running an underground. He's running an underground resistance.
Right. So he hooks back up with Barnabas, only in different circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Hoffman's change is unique in a way because she's not a doctor. I mean, she still ends up in Collinwood. That's the thing about a lot of these characters. The best characters are the ones you don't see or hear about. What did happen to Victoria Winters in parallel time? We don't know.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
She was a well-adjusted child of a family that kept her.
That's right. So she never left New York State.
Or wherever.
Yeah. But
jet setting across Switzerland.
Stokes being the father of Angelique was a nice difference. I mean, him being the ultimate heel of 1970 parallel time was great because you got to see Stokes be evil. And be really this evil mastermind. He showed, hey, I'm the one pulling all the strings here, and he even showed that to his own goddamn daughter, who came back to life.
Yes,
raised an interesting question, and it's this: does that imply that the Stokes family and the Duvall family are, even in primary time, somewhere melded in terms of DNA? Because we know that literally Stokes is not the father of Angelique, but he creates something called Angelique that looks just like Angelique,
right?
And is from Collinsport. So is the Stokes, because it would be a Stokes probably way before
Ben even.
Yeah. That's a wacky question. That maybe before the Collinses, they're the Duvalls and the Stokeses.
Well, because parallel, Barnabas 1795 ends up marrying Josette.
Yeah.
As Bramwell.
Right.
And I saw somewhere where they said, well, Angelique was still working for Josette, but she wasn't a witch, or maybe she was, and then she ends up with one of the Stokes kids.
Oh.
And then that just trickled down to the generations.
Oh, is that stated? Is that in the
I don't remember where I read it. I think it's part of I think it's a fan fiction or something, but how it or maybe it was like one of those that daily blog thing, like Dark Shadows Every Day. I think
Never
I read
heard of it.
one of those ones.
He mentioned the name and I saw you blanch.
Yeah. I at some point I just completely got frazzled with that.
I mean, there's anything is possible in the world of a soap opera. The soap operas tend to be awfully incestuous anyway.
I think it's in Salem Branch.
Maybe so.
I think it's in the Salem Branch. I think
Maybe so.
There is a reference, because there's a reference to Stokes business venture of the early 1800s, the Stokes pickle line. Because I remember asking, I got to meet
pickled herrings or something.
Yeah, I asked her what that was connected to, where that came from. She said, I remember writing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was 2 books ago, whatever.
Not in a William Shatner novelist tech word sense, where he doesn't
actually write it. He just dictates ideas. Yeah.
I mean, I like the T.J. Hooker novels, which deeply involved with.
Yes, of course. Well, you could, if you bought the whole series, they sent you a free William Shatner Turbo 2000 toupee. So with curlers.
You know what was a missed opportunity, and I'm sure Patrick would appreciate this if you were writing it, of people in the main timeline just sitting outside of Angelique's room door with popcorn, just watching.
Oh, God, sell tickets. You don't know when the showtime's going to be, but you sell tickets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when Julia said she's going to sit there and wait and watch to see if he comes back. So I could just picture Julia just filing her nails. All right.
Oh, they're on. Barnabas, pay attention.
It's back on. It's back on, everybody. Back on. Let's watch.
This also parallel time is the infamous storyline where Barnabas meets Roxanne.
Yeah.
Of course.
He gets to be obsessed about Roxanne. So obsessed that when he goes back into regular time and meets that Roxanne, he says, "It's the same one." He says,
Sure it is.
Yeah.
Imagine if when they're getting to Angelique's life force and she ended up looking like Mrs. Johnson or somebody else, they'd be like, pull the plug. Pull the plug. Fine. No, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Let's keep her. It would have been even better if when she starts to talk, she talks like, "Oh, Mr. Barnabas."
Perfect.
Ow. And then we could have gone into parallel time, Pygmalion.
Like, oh, wow. Major mistake.
Sorry.
You're hot.
Barnabas.
There's times that our buddy Barnabas learns absolutely nothing, and I mean that with the dearest intent.
A pretty consistent story.
Yeah.
She's in her.
And then another complete mystery that people have built all sorts of juicy gossip around was the introduction of Brian Sturdivant as Claude North.
Yeah,
that was another weird.
It was, and that was kind of weird because he was there 4 or 5 episodes, I guess, and he came back as the bellboy in regular 1970, in the stopping off place of Mr. Best. But nobody can figure out what really went on with that.
That was like a throwaway.
Yeah, it was like somebody said, "Hey, hire this guy. He's really cool. Just hire him."
The difference between Wallace McBride and me, it was Collinsford Historical Society, is that Wallace remembered Claude North and I didn't.
Yeah.
And every time I watch Parallel Time, I'm like, oh, yeah, Claude North.
That's right. What's he doing skulking around secret room of the mausoleum or whatever.
Oh, I don't know. And that's the beginning of where the story would go. Really, so much of the Ragnarok storyline, which is one that's going to come up, and even 1840 and 1841, it's like, oh, hey, that's interesting. I gotta pay attention, sort of. I don't know.
Make sure you don't miss anything.
I don't know. Oh God, I missed something. Does it matter? Nope.
Yeah, it's like,
and yet it's my favorite section of the series.
Yeah, it was like when they brought back Michael Stroka to play Laszlo for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Why? What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the fizz.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this time he gets a chance to actually play a gypsy, rather than just be fascinated by them and want to sleep with them, that sort of thing. But they only brought him in for 2 episodes, and he was gone. He was a device for Angelique to check out what was going on at Collinwood.
I bet I know what happened. He got a better gig.
Either he got a better gig, or he asked for a better gig, and Dan Curtis said, "What happened to Robert Rodan?"
That would have been hammered out before he showed up.
Yeah, probably.
I think probably a stage gig or something like that. He wasn't expecting. It was opening soon.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Dan, I get news.
Yeah.
Okay, kid, just get out of here.
Right. I mean, I know eventually he ended up on Edge of Night for quite some time, but I think that was a few years later.
Laszlo had 3 episodes, you guys.
3. Okay.
I remember. I just binged that one. I was going to say, when he shows up like one more time, when is it?
Because I know he meets Angelique in the mausoleum, and they hatch this plan for him to go to Collinwood to figure out what's going on with Barnabas.
Yeah.
And because she comes back to the mausoleum every so many years to check on the coffin, and it's been opened. So she's PO'd, and so she kind of chastises Laszlo and sends him off to do her bidding. And that much I knew. I didn't know about the 3rd episode.
Yeah, the 3rd one, he goes and gets the pocket watch from Gerard. He comes in like, oh, let me read your hand, and then he like pockets his.
Okay, steals his pocket watch.
That's his last appearance. So yeah, that's the 3rd one.
Well, good. I'm glad he screwed around with Gerard. Then that's good.
Did
old Ivan Miller deserves to have his pocket watch stolen? So
very complicated. So much role play.
Yes. Yeah.
In that you have a writer disguised as an actor, disguised as Ivan Miller.
Yeah.
Disguised as Gerard Stiles. Disguised as Judah Zachary, or maybe it's going the other direction.
It's going the other direction because Judah Zachary ultimately takes over his body. So yeah,
this is self-reflective metadrama to an extent that just it's like what is it, the Third Man with all the mirror? Or, no, it's not. It's a Citizen Kane where he's walking out of the room. He's just going to stunned, and it's all
Yeah, it is. It's layer upon layer of stuff there, and intrigue is fun, but it's like I remember watching both Parallel Time, 1970, 95, and 1840, because I was like 9 going on 10, and then 10 years old during 1840, and I remember those storylines. I remember those very well, not absolutely vividly, but I remember them very well before I got back to watching it again many years later.
I will say that for Claude North, because they do open the mausoleum and they figure, well, somebody's already using it, somebody knows about this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that made the character a little interesting, but once you get past that, I gave Roxanne away. You did what?
Yeah.
Dude, really? Okay. Yeah, that's where I hate to say I think he was there for a favor, or somebody owed somebody a favor, but it just felt like that too.
I think he was somebody's boy toy.
Something. I do wish they would have did more with the character, because it's like, what happened?
He had a really dramatic entrance. It looked like he was going to be this man of mystery, and then he wasn't there anymore.
Claude North. I was busy poking.
Yeah. I will say, like, when you get to 1970 Roxanne, that was really good. The mystery of who's the vampire.
Right. That was nice.
Really good.
And her relationship, the hints that they give with her relationship to Sebastian and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was a great whodunit.
Well, and it ends up being a Vampire of Barnabas' own creation.
That's right. Because and when we go back to 1840, we see that before he was repossessed by his modern spirit, he started biting her.
Yeah, that has a weird flowers in the attic kind of.
It's kind of weird, yeah.
It's
that wasn't me. That was, well, it was me, but it wasn't me. That kind of thing. So,
what do we think about Parallel Quentin though? Like, is he supposed to be
okay?
Okay, Patrick, tell me about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This brings us back to a question that we had earlier: is who's the heavy? Who's actually the heel in this? It's Quentin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's such an a-hole.
Well, he is such an a-hole. They ameliorate it later on by explaining why, but it's not enough.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for domestic abuse. And he's the monster who's real.
And he kept breaking glasses. It's like, how many? You're gonna run out of glasses and not.
I remember as a kid thinking to myself, wow, man, that's the essence of Quentin's character. He's throwing brandy glasses into the fireplace all the time.
Yeah, we get it. Bad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it was an incredibly important. I don't know if it was revolutionary, but it was an incredibly important character for the Dark Shadows writers, I think, to morally insert into a story like this is to just take a step back for a second and say, who is probably the most frequently confronted real monster of the viewers? Meaning kids and women trapped at home because of the way society was back then.
Yes.
And it's a domestic abuser. Is a hard figure.
Which is also why the rapist aspect of Jaeger is so vivid.
It's very as a woman watching it. You feel so bad for Buffy. I almost forgot about she's one of our new characters too. Yes. I really, and that one scene, I'm like, did he just do what I think he did?
Yeah.
And then I saw there was like the 50th anniversary. Chris Pennock was talking about his character, and he did confirm that he was a rapist. He was. So I was like, oh, that hurts. But yeah, that was hard to watch.
Yeah. That was, yeah. I mean, they could only imply certain things, but it was heavily implied. You knew that that's what happened. She had not just been beaten; she'd been raped.
Yeah,
which is
poor Buffy. But she did survive. She survived. She was one of the survivors.
She did.
I'm surprised she didn't get whacked.
Yeah. No.
This dimension of this storyline, which is the most pronounced in all of Dark Shadows, I would say, it makes it, I think, twice as important, 3 times as important, that the sympathetic female, who is so often a victim and kidnapped and all sorts of other things, is the one who metaphorically drives the stake through his heart by leaving. By leaving. It's Maggie. And I have contended, and I will continue to contend, for me privately, the single best acted scene on Dark Shadows is around 1001, and it's the episode where Maggie leaves, and she and Quentin have this knockdown drag out. And Kathleen Scott's a wonderful actor. She plays, I think, even when it's Maggie from the block, she plays very cerebral characters who, like Catherine, are very thoughtful and intentional about how they approach life. And there is a plan. There's spontaneity, but there is a plan. And with Maggie Collins, there is also now in that kind of multi-persona that we kind of know as Maggie, which I think of all of these as just different masks on the same figure, the chance for spontaneous risk. So much can be meticulously planned, but my God, her performance in this is just fantastic. It's completely real. And we don't even see choices being made. We just see action being necessitated.
Right. The choice is already there. Another thing about her, that Maggie PT character is that her biggest obstacle at the beginning of the whole thing is all of this emotional manipulation through other people's indecisions or bad intentions, and nobody believes her. Mm-hmm. The only person that would ever believe her is Hoffman, and Hoffman's one of the ones that's instigating, trying to drive her mind. She knows she's telling the truth, but of course she's not going to say anything, which adds further stuff. There's a great scene where Maggie knows what Hoffman is doing, and she says something like, "It's amazing how you just turned an apology into a testimonial," because she goes from, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Collins," to talking, goes into a fugue state, almost a lesbonic fugue state about Angelique before she's done. So Maggie says to her, "That's amazing. You just turned an apology into a testimonial."
Yeah, that was a great line. Great line.
One of my favorite scenes is when you see Carolyn's loss from when Willie Loomis dies, and because you tell they really loved each other. I love that sense too, because with Quentin is the monster here. He is he's the heel. I love Maggie Evans's leaving because it's justified. Yeah, like, yes, great job. This is what
get out of there before you go completely nuts, because these people are driving you crazy.
Right. This is what every woman should do with an abusive man. Walk away. But I do love Carolyn and Willie's relationship.
I recommend they don't tell them ahead of time, however, in real life.
Yes. There you go. That's true. Too.
Just go.
That's it, too. But I did like the ghost of Damien Edwards. I do wish we'd got more of Claude North. Better written Claude North. I did like what they did with Roxanne Drew and Parallel Time, because it made Stokes even more of an asshole.
Yes, it
in
does,
every way.
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about total kidnapping. It's just, it's even worse than kidnapping, obviously, because he's draining her life force with this pseudoscience that he's got, Angelique hooked up to. Oh, we forgot about one other character. This is great because this is a connection to the old Mercury Theater. It's Hannah Stokes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The old medium. And Paula Lawrence played, she was actually one of Houseman and Wells's muses when they were doing theater in New York back in the 30s. So I thought that was always quite interesting.
Yeah, and she reads Angelique's palm and realizes it's not Alexis, which is really good. But I loved Christopher Pennock's performance of Cyrus and Yeager. Really great job he did. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, if you will. So here we do need to talk. We should talk about something next week. How would you bring the Mummy to Dark Shadows? What do you guys think?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Samantha, you down?
Yeah, I mean, I got some ideas.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. That'll be a discussion for next week. Is there anything you guys want to add about 1970 Parallel Time before we game?
This is another storyline that doesn't always get or gets short shrift sometimes. And it shouldn't. It gets short shrift because it's their biding time while they're making the movie kind of thing. And that's true of some of the episodes, I will admit, but it's certainly not true of the entirety of the storyline.
It's a really fun, exciting, keeps you on your toes storyline. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I love that no matter what universe they're in, Nancy Barrett's going to get bit.
Yeah.
Gotta
And
go
she's going to do
walk.
more with it than anybody else, the entire cast, because she was great.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, who doesn't love when any TV show does a alternate reality episode?
Mm-hmm.
They did more than just one episode. They did a whole month.
I'm pretty cool. This was before Mirror Mirror on Star Trek.
No. No, this was 1970. Mirror Mirror.
Oh, yeah, God. Okay, yeah.
Was
yeah,
like
you're right.
68.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So it wasn't. So Brainchild would be the opposite. Yeah, it would be Trek in that case. But there's also a lot of sci-fi out there that deals with parallel time and dealt with parallel time at that time. I'm sure they were reading up on stuff to see, how can we be consistent about the way it behaves, all of that sort of thing.
What about poor Sabrina Stewart? Okay, so in our timeline, she's dating a werewolf, and in this timeline, she's dating another monster. Which one's
Yes.
What's worse?
I think this one's worse. She has such. She has this prolonged closeness to Cyrus, and so the disappointment is much deeper. I think.
True. Oh yeah, it cuts deep. It's a cut.
Not that it doesn't cut deep with regular time, but it's just they haven't seen each other for a long time, and then they come back together, and so they're trying to solve it and reestablish the trust there. The trust is disintegrating in parallel time.
Yeah, and Cyrus kind of did it to himself.
Yeah.
Chris didn't have a choice.
No.
So yeah, I like your idea. Yeah, good answer.
You have Sabrina and Maggie confronting two very real monsters.
Yep.
In every way in this. It makes parallel time really watchable. Alexis, the Stokes in general. You have literally a whole family of Stokes in this, which is really nice to see. Very, very good job. This is 1970 parallel time is very underrated.
It is, especially when you consider how stretched thin the writers were, particularly Sam Hall. During the period of time where this storyline was being mapped out, he was trying to finish a screenplay. So,
the link to Samantha's books are going to be in the description box. Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Day Book Club is going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel, Colin Sport After Dark, is going to be in the description box. You guys and gals have a great night and stay safe. Have a good one.
Thank you, Joel. Thanks for a great Saturday, guys. Appreciate it.